Okay, the recording has started. Hello everyone, my name is Ilan Asbel. Some of you may or may not know me. I am currently the CEO at Autochartist. I'm one of the co-founders of the company, and I am actually absolutely delighted to be able to present to you today. We've actually increased the amount of webinars we're doing now. This is the second webinar that we're doing in the UK time zone or the European time zone. So I'm very sure that most of you attending today's webinar are somewhere in the European region, but if you're not, welcome from wherever you are around the world. Glad to have you here, and again, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for joining us. So what we're looking at today is a closer look at the Autochartist MetaTrader plugin. So I'm guessing here that most of you trade FX or Forex, and so you know what I'm going to be showing you today is basically mechanics around how to use Autochartist from inside MetaTrader. So let's get going on that. So you all can see my screen. I have a MetaTrader open on the left of my screen, and I have the Autochartist homepage open on the right-hand side of my screen, and I'll show you in just a second why I have that. What I have done prior to the start of this webinar is I have actually gone ahead and downloaded the Autochartist MetaTrader plugin, and it's a little bit different for all of your brokers. You know, if you don't know where to download the Autochartist MetaTrader plugin for your broker, send us an email to, I'll actually type it into you in for your chat window, support@autochartist.com, or go to our website and click on the login button, and you'll actually get a list of brokers that we support and download links for the MetaTrader plugin. And the download installation procedure is actually pretty simple. When the download starts, you'll actually get a little web page that shows you, gives you instructions about how to download it and install it. It's pretty straightforward, like any installation. You know, you just kind of click next, and the thing does what it has to do. The only difficulty comes in if you have multiple versions of MetaTrader installed from different brokers, then the installation wizard actually asks you which one you want to install Autochartist on. So that's that. I see Pablo once in a while. Pablo's asking about his Mac. So because I don't have any support staff with me on this webinar, I'm going to try and keep my eye on the questions window. If I don't get to your question, I'm really sorry. Send a support request to support@autochartist.com. But I see Pablo's asking about a Mac version. So Pablo, right now we don't support Mac, unfortunately, because we use this technology called DLLs, which are dynamic link libraries, which do the communication between MetaTrader and our servers. And that's not supported by Mac. But I do know that the guys at our head office in Johannesburg are busy redeveloping the plugin to avoid using these DLLs. And then once that happens in the next few months, then Mac will be supported. But right now, it only supports the Autochartist, the Windows platform. Unfortunately, sorry about the inconvenience. So once you go through the installation process, really what you get is in your navigator window, and let me show that with a pen. In the navigator window, you'll get a whole array of Autochartist indicators available to you in your MetaTrader. I hope you can all see my little green block that I've drawn around those indicators in my navigator window on my MetaTrader. And let me start with the first thing that I want to show you, which is basically launching of the Autochartist web application. So to launch the Autochartist web application, oh well, my antivirus is kicking in for some reason. Sorry everyone, my antivirus has just kicked in and I'm not sure what's going on. Hope you can all hear me okay. Hello? I hope can you all hear me? I'm not sure why my antivirus kicked in there. Okay, here we go. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this Autochartist web application indicator onto a chart. And the most important thing I need to do is I need to make sure that my allow DLL imports checkbox is enabled in order for that to run. And what should happen, and again I've had this open before, so I'm hoping that it'll open. Oh wow, I seem to be a little bit disorganized today on this webinar, so apologies everyone. Let me try and get that reopened now. Give me a moment everybody, I'm sorry about this. Why? So that's what happens when you don't prepare correctly. Okay, hello everyone. I'm sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what is going on there. Okay, so what I'm going to do again is I'm going to drag and drop the Autochartist web application onto a chart on my screen. I'll pop it onto this Euro USD chart over here, and what I do is I allow DLL imports, and what should happen if all goes according to plan is my Autochartist web application should launch in my browser. Let's give that a moment to open, and if it doesn't, I'm not sure why it doesn't, I'll just open it manually. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so what you should see is a new window opening in my browser with the Autochartist web application. Apologies for that technical glitch. I just restarted my my MetaTrader. Okay, and what you can see now is this is why I had my browser window open on the right hand side of my screen. That's because I wanted to show you how this launches, and this is really the way I use Autochartist. Again, you can use it in whatever way you want to use it. I just want to show you the way I use it. So for me, the most powerful part of Autochartist is really the fact that it screens for trading opportunities, right? So you can of course just look at individual charts with the Autochartist indicator on your MetaTrader, but the way I trade, the way I find it useful to trade is to actually use the web application to scan the markets for opportunities, and then what I do is I open up the relevant charts within MetaTrader itself, so I can have a look at more details about what's actually going on. So let's actually take an example. So here's an example on my screen right now. This is an opportunity on GBP USD. And what I want to do is, let's say I like the look of this image. I would go into my MetaTrader and I would try find GBP USD. There it is, GBP USD. I'll open up a new chart, and if you notice on my Autochartist, this is a 1 hour chart, right? I mean a 1 day chart. This is 1440 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to daily, and if all goes according to plan, what I should get is all the support resistance lines that you're actually seeing on my Autochartist window, I'll get on MetaTrader, and you can see that has actually happened. You have exactly the same lines in MetaTrader as you do within the Autochartist application, right? And now Autochartist believes that this is a potential move, down to this support level. And you can see the move has already happened. Autochartist identified this opportunity a few days ago, but the movement is certainly in that direction. Right, so that gives you an idea about how to use it in that sense. Of course, you can, you can look at more frequent opportunities. So let's find something else which is on a popular currency pair, which is, I was actually looking at a 15-minute opportunity just a few minutes ago. Nzdusd USD, which was an interesting one just a few minutes ago. I had this one open on my screen. I don't have it open anymore. Let me open up Nzdusd USD. Again, I would open up the screen, set it to 15 minutes because it's an opportunity on 15-minute intervals. And what should happen again is I should see exactly this opportunity coming up on my screen. We give that a moment. And there it is. You can quite clearly see the green and blue lines on the MetaTrader chart that you see in the green and blue lines on your Autochartist platform. Okay, so so there you have it. That's really the mechanics of how I use it. Now, Bruno, I'm not quite sure what you mean by how to open MetaTrader. Bruno is asking me the question, can you please repeat how to open MetaTrader? MetaTrader is just something, it's a program that you install from your broker. So you would need to go through, get that from your broker and install it, and then you would need to install the Autochartist plugin from us, and you get that from our website, www.autochartist.com. So actually, Arvind, if I've pronounced that name correctly, Arvind is asking a really good question. He's looking at this GBP USD chart that I've got open, and he's saying a rising wedge. I would think that was going up and not down. That's a great question, actually, Arvind. Actually, a rising wedge can actually be traded in two different ways. So if the wedge actually broke through the resistance level, the green line, then I would say that the trend would be in continuation in a long direction. However, what you can see here, and Autochartist has identified what we call an emerging pattern, right? That means it's still trading between support and resistance. And what you can clearly see here, and let me draw it for you in a pen, is that Autochartist has identified this turnaround point. I'm going to try and choose a different pen color. I'll make it red. It's identified this turning point over here, and it believes that it's trading, it's headed short towards the support level. Okay, that's what Autochartist is saying. Although, Arvind, you are right that in general, what you need to wait for, if you see a rising wedge, you'd need to wait for a breakout. That would indicate a bullish opportunity for you in the markets. Okay, so that specific opportunity. Okay, we have more. Let me stick with those questions for just a little bit. So I think it's Bhavesh. Again, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Bhavesh, you have asked, does complete mean that the pattern is completed and no more trade is possible? Bhavesh, no, that is slightly incorrect. Completed pattern means that it has broken through support or resistance. So what I'm going to do is, let me quickly spend a moment on the actual Autochartist web application for just a moment, and let me show you the difference between emerging and complete. So completed patterns are what are signaled by green, solid green, or solid red arrows within the Autochartist application. Okay, those solid green or red arrows means that there has been a breakout through support or resistance. Okay, and you can see in this example over here, let me get a drawing pen again, that the price has broken through support or resistance, and we feel that this instrument, Euro Swiss franc, is heading up to 1.0505, right? Emerging patterns, on the other hand, let me erase all my drawing objects. Emerging patterns, on the other hand, they are patterns that are trading between support and resistance. They have not broken through. So they are both actually valid trading opportunities. Okay, the one is for trend following style of trading. The other, the emerging patterns, are for swing traders. So if you believe that you're a trend follower and you're waiting for the trend to emerge, then you should be unchecking all the emerging and approaching opportunities and only looking at the opportunities which are labeled as completed, which have a solid green or red arrows on them. Okay, if you are a swing trading type person, then you should actually enable your emerging patterns and actually trade the opportunities that are still trading between support and resistance. Okay, because these actually will indicate to you that the price is still trading between the support resistance. And look, I must tell you that you got to have a lot of courage to trade these swings, because sometimes the swings are very short, and you need to be watching the market very, very carefully if you're trading these swings between support and resistance. So if you are that kind of trader, this is good, but keep your trading platform open and constantly monitor what you're actually trading and your position. Okay, so let me carry on the MetaTrader plugin, because this is really the main topic of conversation. So again, just to recap what I've said so far, if you want to launch the Autochartist web app for the scanning features, you take this Autochartist web application, you drag and drop it onto your chart, and very important, make sure you have allow DLL imports checked. Okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove Autochartist from my chart, and I want to show you some pretty cool features. So when you install Autochartist if you go through the installation wizard of Autochartist on your computer, one of the steps in the installation will actually give you the opportunity to automatically draw support and resistance on your charts. What that'll do is that'll actually create a template called default, and I'm showing that to you on your screen right now. It'll create a default template with the Autochartist indicators pre-enabled on your charts. However, if you don't want that option, obviously you don't have to do that on the wizard. And what you can do is Autochartist also installs this template called Autochartist, and you can simply select the chart you want and click Autochartist, and that will actually create a window with all the Autochartist settings that you need and pre-populate the MetaTrader window with support and resistance levels and the volatility analysis and all that good stuff immediately. So you don't actually have to drag and drop indicators from your navigator window. But let me show you what that looks like if you did choose to do that manually. What you would do is, for example, if you wanted chart patterns, you would take this chart patterns indicator, drag it, drop it onto your chart, okay? And then make sure you have allow DLL imports. You can set a whole array of parameters. You click OK, and what will happen is that Autochartist will draw you the chart patterns on that window. Okay, and similarly you can do with Fibonacci patterns, key levels, and all the other Autochartist indicators. I, however, like to just use the template. So I just click Autochartist, and all the templates are enabled, and you don't have to worry about allowing DLL imports or anything else. Now, I just noticed that Ken is telling me that my sound has disappeared. I'm wondering if everybody can still hear me, or if it's just a problem that Ken is having. Ken, good, you can hear me. Good, all right, thank you everybody. Right, so I seem to be full of technical issues today. I'm sorry, this is what happens when I don't have support staff, right? Normally everyone's always watching my back and telling me what's going on, but today I'm on my own. Okay, so I actually want to show you something very cool, and I'm sure you can all see this, and I'm going to make my MetaTrader window slightly bigger, and I'm going to make this top graph slightly bigger, and I want to show you this feature. So now, let's just say that you want to trade an opportunity on Autochartist. Let's actually choose an opportunity on Autochartist. Let's see, what do we have that's pretty new here? Something against the US dollar. Here's, I don't really want to trade that. That's an end of day pattern. Let's see what else we have here that's more frequent. Well, actually, this NZD opportunity is pretty good. Let's stick with this NZD opportunity right here. Okay, so we have this NZD opportunity right here, and now we're wondering to ourselves, okay, I want to trade this opportunity. Where would I set my stop loss and where would I set my take profit? So now if you notice on the right hand side of the screen, we have all these lines that are drawn on the screen, right? They're these little lines with levels. This is what we call our volatility analysis. So the volatility analysis product is really tries to give an indication of where, the range, the expected range of a certain instrument for a certain period of time, right? So you actually have exactly the same information within the Autochartist web application. If you click on the volatility analysis button in the web app, right, you will actually notice that we give you the expected price range for the next 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, and 24 hours. Okay. Now, what this means to you is that we can actually help you set market appropriate stop losses and take profits. Okay. Now, most people naively think that you can actually, just choose any stop loss, a 10 pip stop loss or 20 pip stop loss or whatever it is, and as long as you set a stop loss. But actually, it's very important to set a stop loss which is appropriate for the time of day that you're trading. Okay, so you can see, for example, in this graph, this is a volatility graph for every hour of the day for the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. You can see that between 1 and kind of 3 p.m. Eastern time, New Zealand dollar trades with a lot more volatility. Okay, so trading at that time of day, you'd want to set larger stop losses, okay, or take profits, right, when compared to trading other times of day, right? So this problem is actually resolved for you automatically within MetaTrader through our volatility analysis indicator. It's already enabled automatically if you use the template. Otherwise, you can just drag and drop this volatility analysis indicator onto your chart. Just make sure that you allow DLL imports. Now, what is this saying to you? Let's just say we want to take a long position on New Zealand dollar, right? So let's just say we think, let me get my drawing tool. Let's say we think it's going long. Okay, we want to take a position, right? So, okay, we want to take a position long, but that's half the battle, right? We need to set a market appropriate stop loss or take profit. Now we're wondering where to set it. Now we see, like when I look at this graph, I say, okay, look, I don't want to be, I'm working for a living. I don't want to be watching my graph every minute of the day, right? What I can see right now is Autochartist is telling me for the next 60 minutes, we think that this instrument is going to trade between 0.6859 and 0.6918. Okay. Now this immediately gives us an idea of where to set our stop loss and take profit. So if we want to let this position ride for the next hour or so, then what we should be doing is we should be setting, we can take a position at the current market, right, price, and set our stop losses and take profits at those kind of levels. Now, what I normally do is I normally look at important levels around those positions, right? So, would I set my stop loss to be 0.6859? I'm not sure. What I would probably do is I'd probably shift it down a little. And why would I do that? Because I'm seeing that actually at 0.6852, there seems to be a lot more significance, right? If I'm looking at this graph, I'm seeing a lot of consolidation and touching of this price level, right? I'm seeing a lot of action happening at 0.6852, right? So I look at my Autochartist volatility analysis. I use that as an indication of approximately where, what area I should be looking for stop losses and take profits, and then adjusting it according to what I'm seeing on the chart. Similarly, for the take profit, would I set my take profit 0.6918? Maybe, maybe not. I might think about moving it up to 0.6927, where I see turning point previously, right, a while back. Nothing really else going at that level. Maybe be very aggressive, right? I can see a bit of consolidation at 0.69 flat, right? That might be an interesting level for us. Round numbers, I love round numbers. Round numbers are, really interesting for me. But then what we're doing is we're really being very aggressive on that take profit, and we might hit it within just 15 minutes to an hour. So I might just stick to around this level, maybe where I'm seeing consolidation previously at that kind of price level, quite a lot of consolidation at that price level. So I might decide on taking my take profit at 0.6958. Let me actually take another example, because this is actually a very, very important, topic. And I see some questions come through. So let me read one or two questions as they're coming through. Oh yes, Vasil, the webinar will definitely be available. For a recorded webinar will be available tomorrow online. And because you registered for the webinar, you will actually get a link to that. Okay, Nicolaus is asking whether the length means how confident we are with regards to the pattern. Nicolaus, actually the length has got nothing to do with the confidence of the pattern or the probability of success of the pattern. The length is simply how many candles actually, oops, someone is Skyping me, how many candles actually formed this pattern. So for example, on this pattern over here, Euro PLN, it was made up of 4 hourly candles, 88 of them, the length of 88, which means there's 88 candles which formed this pattern. Now, the theory of chart patterns is that the more candles there are, the more confident we are in that pattern. That's because let me explain to you why. You don't use it as a rule. If you think about where chart patterns, the theory of chart patterns began, it began in really trying to identify psychological movements between support and resistance. Okay, and can you say that psychology plays out in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? No. Some people don't even look at chart patterns unless they're like end of day chart patterns, like this one on US dollar Swiss franc, or this one on GBP USD. They believe that opportunities, of psychology plays out over days, right? So, yes, I certainly take it into account. I don't look at very short opportunities, but you need to look at each individual opportunity on its own merits. But again, I want to focus specifically on the MetaTrader platform for today. So again, what I want to do is I want to let's actually look at this example, this GBP USD example. Did we actually have it open earlier? Yes, we did. Let me maximize that screen. And now what we're seeing, what I wanted to show you is actually, again, this opportunity over here. Now, if you notice now, the current price of GBP USD is sitting at around 156.87, right? Now, if we had to take this opportunity, and let's say this opportunity is telling us to go short, right? Potentially, this is a swing opportunity to go short. Let me get my drawing tool. So I actually draw that in. This opportunity is telling us to go this way, right? Now, this is a long-term opportunity. So, first things I have to tell you is, do you take a massive position on a long-term opportunity? Let me ask you that question. Think about my question very carefully. For me, again, depending on your trading style, for me, the answer is no. If I take a long-term position on something, I take a smaller position. The reason I take a smaller position is because if I'm setting my stop losses and take profits according to the expected movement of the instrument, I would be setting my stop losses and take profits way away from where the market currently is. For example, the volatility analysis is telling me to set my take profit and stop loss. Let's look at this. This is current price 156.87. So it's telling me to, for the next 24 hours, we're looking at what is that? Oh, an absolutely massive movement. Looks like 80, somewhere in the region of 160 to 200 pips of expected price movement. Now, I'm not sure about you, but if you're trading a massively leveraged account like 1 to 100 or 1 to 200, to take a position, take a stop loss or take profit a few hundred pips away, you could potentially lose your shirt on a trade like this. So what you need to do is you need to think about this carefully and not just take your default settings, right? You need to look at this, say, I'm setting my position, quite a distance away from where the current price is. Let's take a smaller position, right? Let's take 1/10 of the normal size trade that we're actually trading, so that when the price moves against us a little bit, right, which it definitely will, right? We're looking at a long-term chart here. Each candle here is a daily, a full day's worth of movement. We're not going to, panic and not be able to sleep at night because the price has moved against us. Okay, so again now, if I use this Autochartist indicator, the volatility indicator, and I say, where would I place this position? I might place my stop loss actually closer to the 158.83 mark on a stop loss, and a take profit. Interesting. I might take it at this level over here where I see a bit of consolidation. Yes, actually looks like a significant level. I would probably look at this. There was consolidation here, here, strong breakout over here. This price at 154.73 looks like more of a significant level for me in terms of a take profit. So I might go short in a position like this, and I might look like I'll be waiting for maybe a day and a half to 2 days until it hits this position, right? Those levels, whether it's take profit or stop loss. But at least then I know that I'm actually, placing my exit levels based on market significant levels that have been tested in the past. Okay, so one last thing before I let you go is, if you want to make life easier when you're dragging and dropping the Autochartist indicator onto your charts, you want to make life a little easier for yourself. What you can do is you can go on to the let me erase all these drawing objects. If you want to make life easier for yourself from not having to enable DLL imports every time, if you go into the options section of MetaTrader and click on Expert Advisors and click on Allow DLL Imports, then click OK, it'll make life a lot easier for you in terms of using the Autochartist MetaTrader plugin. Either do that or use our pre-existing templates, which have selected that option for you on an indicator by indicator basis. Okay. And now finally, this has got nothing to do, my final comment, this has nothing to do with really the Autochartist plugin for MetaTrader, but I have been personally using our web app, our mobile application more and more these days, because our mobile application is actually based on a service which we offer on the web called Our Favorites, which is basically the statistically most probable opportunities available on the market right now based on past performance. Again, the disclaimer is, past performance might not be indicative of future performance, but certainly from a probability perspective, our favorite opportunities are the best ones to look at right now. And so what I do is I actually monitor my mobile app, which is based on this Our Favorites opportunities, and then I open up my MetaTrader based on some of those. In fact, I traded this US dollar ZAR opportunity earlier today. Obviously, having a connection to South Africa, but that's something which I traded on today. There are some which we called completely wrong, like we call this Canadian dollar movement completely wrong. Although we have been calling some euro dollar opportunities pretty well. We can see we've been calling this or JPY opportunity pretty well for the last few hours. Yeah, have a look at this, our favorites opportunities, and also look for us on the Google Play or iTunes store. Just search for Autochartist. Download the app, register on there, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. So I am over my time limit of 30 minutes. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Please, again, if there's any technical difficulties, sometimes it can be tricky to install that Autochartist MetaTrader plugin. If you do have any trouble with it, please drop us an email, support@autochartist.com. We've recently really increased our staff significantly in our customer support division, and we're hoping to turn emails around really quickly. Please don't be shy, email us there. Thank you very much for your attention. The recording will be available tomorrow, and we'll send you all a link to this. Have a nice day, everyone. Good night.